Welcome to the Hollywood Raw Podcast, Raw Rundown, where we go over the top 10 stories of the week. My name is Adam Glyn. Over there is Dax Holt. This is our Raw Rundown on Wednesday. Me and Dax usually BS with each other. And then on Fridays, we drop an episode where we give you the top 10 stories of the week. How do we pick the top 10 stories of the week? It goes by Google search, it goes by data, and lastly, it goes by our personal opinion. But ultimately, it comes down to the data, what you guys are clicking on. So, it's not that it is the top 10 stories of the week, but, the number one story of the week is what more people are clicking on. It's just, we're not just giving you a list. It is go in ranking. This week was, it was an odd week. I feel like sometimes lately, especially a lot of political politics has taken over the world of pop culture, news, and all those outlets start to cover that stuff. And then this week was sort of like that, and we don't cover real news, we cover pop culture. But there was, we obviously this week was a very tough week, which we'll go into more detail. There was a few losses this week, and I think both. We'll get into more detail. I'll save what I have to say about it later. But I will say this. When I heard about the deaths of both people, I didn't realize how much it oh man, you didn't realize what you had until you lost it.
Yeah, right.
And and it was like, man, they're just very cool people, very unique people. How you doing, Dax, over there?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. I mean, I've been a little sick, but other than that, everything has been good. So if I sound all congested and got my sexy voice on, just go with it, okay?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I was on the verge of getting sick. I was just running my body just too much. And last night, I could have went to a Fish concert. Never been to a Fish concert. And on my way there, I just turned back home. I was like, I can't do it. Like, my body, I'm not going to enjoy it. My body's going to hate myself. And it's just not worth it. I'll do it another time.
That's when you realize you're really old, dude. Because if you were, 20, you would have pushed through, and now you're just an old man.
I thought about it, but I was out every night till late, and I thought I was going to do all right. And the night before, I was out till late. It's so funny. The other night, I was out, and I'm on the street, and I'm sitting with a buddy at a little curb, not a curb, but chairs on West Village. There's these chairs, and then right across is this guy Alex, who I know, and I didn't go up to him and talk to him. I should have pressed him, but there's some news that he's dating Anna Kendrick. And I should have been like, hey, man, should I? But I didn't do that. I kept the record. I was like, oh, Alex, what's up, buddy? How you doing? And I just kept it moving. But, but I should have been like, oh, you don't realize, that guy over there,
he's not going to want to ruin that. So there's no way he's actually going to bring that up or answer that question, because that's just going to put him in an awkward situation.
Well, you know what? Part of me wants to see, hey, which way do you want to go? You know what I do for a living. Do you want to throw gas on the fire, or do you want me to help you out, a little bit, and kind of so you can have a real relationship? The other day, I won't name the celebrity. And people are like, oh, Adam, why don't you name the person? Because I will out people when I want to, when I don't want. It's just not necessarily. But I ran into a celebrity the other night who was dating another celebrity. But they are not someone who's into all the – they're not that they're into the attention. I think they were caught off guard by how much attention their relationship got when they were dating. And I know that because the person they were dating was calling the paparazzi all day and night. And I said to him, I was like, dude, by the way, because I heard through friends that he was curious, how were their cameras every time we left the apartment? How are their cameras outside we left the restaurant? So I went up to him and told him, I was like, by the way, dude, I think but just to clarify, that person you were dating was tipping people off. And they were like, oh, I know. I started to get the clues real quick, and then I had to sort of realize, and, but I played the game a little bit, but I kind of want to coach them a little bit. I thought it'd be good to coach them, but I think in this situation, I was like, listen, you're dating Anna Kendrick's a star.
It's funny because if you were dating some huge superstar, it's you kind of want people to know. That would be kind of cool, right? You're out dating this massive celebrity, so there's that side of you that you're like, okay, well, I want people to know, but how do I let them know? Okay, I'll just tip off the paparazzi. I'd be so bad. I would not be a good person to date a celebrity, because I feel like I'd be like, I want people to know how cool I am right now.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's hard not to kind of eat that fame drug, because you want it to kind of last. But yeah, no, it's a unique thing. But I think that in this situation, I didn't want to get involved too much. I played it very cool.
By the way,
Yeah.
Adam, do you know how old I feel right now? My daughter
How
is
old?
turning 13 today. Dude,
Dude,
can you believe that? Like,
she's got
she was just
opinions now.
born.
Like that's
She was
crazy.
born the other day. I'm like, what is happening right now? Google's sending me a message like, oh, she can control her own Gmail account now. I'm like, what is happening? No, 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 no. So yeah,
You're at the
I'm
point now where she's not waking you up in the morning, which is great, but she keeps you up at night. Like, because she's gonna start going out having fun. Like going to have a fun night with a friend and like, hey, are you home yet? Like, are you on your way home? Like, what's the deal? Like,
it's bad, dude. It's bad, bad, bad. But anyway, that's what's
all
going
good
on in my
things.
world.
All right, I got to get going because I'm supposed to record something with someone who, if this person shows up in time, we'll see what happens. I'll be surprised if it happens, to be honest with you. I showered for this. But we'll talk about it later next week. All right, before we get to the Raw Rundown, do you have a review ready for us, Dex?
I do. This one comes from Car FN. It's a 5-star review. It says, thank you for keeping me up to date on all things pop culture. I'm a stay-at-home mom with 3 young boys. Your podcast gets me through the never-ending cycle of snacks and cleaning. Love the banter and the laughs you provide. Thank you for commitment to us 2 times each week. Aw, well, thank you. I appreciate it because, what we learned early on in podcasting was that, like, consistency is really the name of the game. Like, if you're not putting out a product, on time every week, people will kind of not trust you and they don't come back for the podcast. So that's like been our thing is for the last couple of years, every Wednesday, every Friday, we're putting out a podcast. It is a lot of work, and it's comments like this that really make it all worthwhile. So thank you. Really do appreciate it.
Much
Car
appreciate that. I mean,
FN.
doing 2 episodes a week, it's not easy because, again, Dax and I are both on different schedules, just work-wise and, obviously
And
time-wise.
on different coasts, the timelines don't match up. It's a mess.
Tough. Sometimes we're doing it at 6 a.m. his time. Sometimes we're doing it at midnight my time. It's tough, but there's tougher jobs out there. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I'm not hitting nails. Those I couldn't do it. I have sensitive hands. All right, Dax, let's get to the Raw Rundown, starting with number 10.
Oh, Adam, I'm so excited about this. The Devil Wears 2. I'm sorry, The Devil Wears 2. The Devil Wears Prada 2 is now filming in New York. I did not even realize that this had been greenlit and that they were going to be making a Devil Wears Prada number 2 until the photos started coming out. You've got Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep. They are now being seen walking through the streets of New York filming this. Did you know that this was happening?
I did. I've had some people hit me up saying I know exactly where they're filming because I remember where the first one where Anna Hathaway's office was, and I'm around that location all the time. I
Okay.
saw the videos from the paparazzi sending me like, "Hey, dude, there's Anne Hathaway. There's Glyn? Who's the not Anne,
Meryl
who's the other
Streep?
person in the movie? Meryl Streep, and then Stanley Tucci. They would send me like, "Hey, here, I guess I saw Stanley Tucci around there." So I actually love the first one. I don't know why I liked
Dude,
it.
I don't even know why I liked it either. It's such a good movie, though. Such a
Yeah,
good movie.
it's so weird because there's nothing like incredible. It's not like Forrest Gump where it's just like a fun, cute movie, and they don't show it enough. Well, it's not like I watch TV. It's not like I
Okay,
would put
here's
it
a
on
question.
Netflix, but if it was on TV, I'd stay and watch it for a second.
I was gonna say, is it for me? It's definitely one of those movies. If it's
It's a
on
plain
TV and
movie.
I'm flipping through, I see it, I will watch it, even though I've
I
seen
don't
it 100 times.
1000%. I don't have cable anymore because I just do straight all the streamers. I don't know. It's just what I do now. Actually, I do. I have the Hulu thing where I have all the channels, but I don't really flip through the channels much. But if I'm on a
So
plane and I see it,
yeah,
I'll watch that. Even though I've seen it so many
100%.
times, I'll watch that.
100%. And I don't know why. It's one of those movies. So I feel like they've got some big shoes to fill on doing a number 2 because you got high expectations with Meryl Streep. Her being out, she's got that pixie cut.
Yeah.
The famous one from the first movie, Miranda Priestly. She looks the same. It is crazy. That movie is from 2006. and they all still look the same. Like they really haven't aged, or they're doing a really good job with all the makeup and hair and all that kind of stuff. Emily Blunt will be back in this movie. Stanley Tucci will be back in this movie. They've got a couple new people that they're adding: Lucy Liu, Justin Theroux, BJ Novak. So it's going to be, I think, a pretty fun watch. And I guess the whole point of this movie is it's going to be Miranda Priestly, Meryl Streep's character, facing off against Emily Blunt's character, who's now a high-powered executive for a luxury group with advertising money. And Priestley needs that money because obviously she was working for a dying brand in the first one. So that's kind of the idea of it now. So I don't know. I'm all in for this one.
Yeah, I think Anne Hathaway, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, she got plastic surgery, which I don't care if she did or didn't. I think she looks great. I always thought she always looked great. And also, I know she gets people have bad impressions of Anne Hathaway being difficult and stuff. I remember I've only met her once, but I met her at an airport, and she grew up in the town next door to me in Jersey. Much nicer, much wealthier town. In fact, the only thing that bothers me, she was born in New York, but pretty much raised in this town. It's one of the nicest towns in New Jersey. But people always ask her where she's from. She says New York. I'm like, you weren't really from New York. You grew up in Jersey, But
Yeah.
she always told people she was from New York. Anyway, I met her at the airport. She was super sweet, super nice. Took her time with me. I mean, she was a delight. So I'm rooting for this. Dax, number 9.
David Geffen's estranged husband, Donovan Michael, is now suing the billionaire for breach of contract. We talked a little bit about this divorce going through, I don't know if it was last week, the week before, but now the divorce drama is kind of starting to get a little nastier. So the lawsuit was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court on Tuesday, and the estranged husband is accusing David Geffen of exploiting a quote-unquote vulnerable, marginalized young gay black man as a wealthy, powerful white gay billionaire who believed himself to be untouchable. So that is all from the lawsuit. If you remember, Geffen had filed the first divorce, filed for divorce from Michaels, who is 32. Geffen's 82, by the way, after less than 2 years of marriage, citing irreconcilable differences. If you remember that, the husband was a former go-go dancer, and then they met, I guess, on some dating website. And the first night, according to the complaint, they met on a dating website called... Oh, it's all good. Bless you.
I tried muting myself. I couldn't find the mute.
So they met on a dating website, seekingarrangements.com. Have you ever heard of this? I've never heard of that.
I'm familiar with. I'm not on it, obviously, but I'm familiar with the site.
Okay, so that's where they met, and then the lawsuit says that Geffen paid Michael $10,000 for sex for that night, and then it was like a plot from a movie, Trading Places, where they began traveling around, and Geffen was showing him off to the wealthy friends under this guise of benevolence, is what the lawsuit says. And then, anyway, I guess he had verbally said that he would take care of him, but now he has cut off all of his financials. He's tried to kick him out of the house. And so, and there was no prenup when they got married back in 2023. So basically, Michaels is like, hey, I need to be compensated. You're kind of throwing me out on the street. I've got nowhere to go. And you were supposed to take care of me. So I think he's looking for a little bit of a payday out of this, because he was told he was going to have full financial support, and now he's not. So anyway, we'll see what happens here.
Yeah. Crazy that they're talking about how they met. And here's one of the richest guys in the world on some horny website to meet a dude, and that's how he met him. But
right,
I'm surprised.
I just think you're a billionaire. You're worth $9.1 billion. What are you doing finding people on a website? You should be able to walk down the street and people are, even if you're an old, ugly billionaire, I still know people will throw themselves at you because you're a billionaire.
Sure, straight guys would throw themselves to him just because he's a billionaire. Guys like Dax. But yeah. But pay the guy $5 million, tell him go away. I don't know. What's the number?
Yeah, $5 million to David Geffen is
that's lunch.
Nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. So it's pay the money, or I don't know what's holding it up, but it's weird that How much more of this weird things do you want to come out there? Give the guy 20 million. He was your husband. Give him 20 million. He's never have to work a day in his life. If he invests well, set him up as a business advisor where he'll make money on that, where his grandkids and family will never have to work a day in their life. Like, they can live on the interest of that. He will be okay.
It's so true. Like, again, 20 million to him is nothing at all. You were married
He
to
was
the
your
dude.
husband. It's not like a boyfriend or a fling. This is not like
And if there was no prenup, think of all the interest that he has made on his $9 billion since they got married. Because that is now all the money that you have made while they were together, right? Like, he obviously can't touch all of the record and the producing money and all of that stuff that was there before they got into a marriage. But I'm sure all the interest and all these other things that have been accumulated since the marriage went on, he would have access to. So I would pay him his 20 million, get out of here.
Yeah. All right. Number 8.
Post Malone seeing a big victory in court. You know, he's been having this child custody case with his ex-fiancee, Jamie Park. It's been going on for a while. He originally filed a custody case in Utah. She then moved to Los Angeles, where she then filed child custody case in California because, listen, here in California, it is very, very pro-mother. It is pro getting, the most money out of the father. And so, like, for her, that was a good move to come to California and do that. Well, she has now had to, remove or dismiss her case in California. So it'll move forward in Utah, which is technically a big win for him because that's where he originally filed. They are, they may have a little more equal rights in Utah versus California.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Listen,
I know
anyone who knows child custody, you don't want a case to go down in California if you're the father. It's just that is, from the beginning, you don't want it to go down here.
I just think Post Malone, he's such, I'd say not a private guy, but he's such a nice guy. This has got to probably bother him so much. I have to imagine but like this stuff being out there, like I'm sure the guy, this is not like his part. He's like,
yeah, but at least the one good thing is it does make him look like he is a guy who really cares about being a father. He is not like letting this go, and he wants custody of his kid.
Yeah, good. Well, good for him. Good for him. Number 7.
All right, the big rumors going on this week were that Zoe Kravitz and Austin Butler were dating.
I thought those rumors were true, man. I saw the photos; they looked very comfortable together. I know they're working together, but where's this at right now?
So basically, dating? They were filming a movie. It's called Caught Stealing, and there was a bunch of photos that circulated of them kissing, but I think it was because it was shot on set, and then they see them out in public, they go out to a restaurant or whatever, so everyone's like, oh my god, they're dating, because God forbid two people who work together aren't dating in Hollywood. Like it's the same story over and over again. They've been the Sun had reported back in April that they had been spending time together over the last few weeks, and I would say yes, because they're filming a movie together, but that they have really good chemistry on and off the screen. Listen, I think this is also a good playbook of, like Sydney Sweeney. It brings attention. People are talking about a movie. They then want to go watch the movie to see if you actually have the chemistry in the movie. But according to TMZ, that is not the case. They talked to multiple sources who claim just Austin and Zoe are just friends, not dating like people are implying, and that it's literally just a working relationship and nothing more. And I think Zoe has actually been spotted out with Noah Centineo, so I thought that that's kind of who she might have been dating, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so I had a paparazzi buddy post on his social media. I didn't ask him, but on his social media he goes, "Set up shot with Zoe Kravitz for YSL." That's what he said. That's what he posted.
Set up shot for YSL?
Set up shot for Zoe Kravitz for YSL. And she's coming out of a hotel with a YSL bag, and clearly YSL is sticking out. Now, that's what he said. I just read what he wrote as a status and posted the photo. Was it a setup shot with her? And like that's part of her game now. She's in the this setup shot era, like, like a part of her career where she's doing stuff like that. I mean, YSL bags are pretty expensive, so why not get some pack photos to get some free bags? But I mean, here she, is she using, if she's doing setup paparazzi shots, I don't think she would mind doing, hey, being seen with this guy to kind of promote this movie.
Okay.
See where I'm going at?
I see where you're going.
I mean, this, and again, I know this is for Who Gives a Shit News, but yeah, I mean, but that's just my theory behind it. Number 7?
Number 7.
6.
Let me see. We are in 6, yeah. It continues to get kind of nasty between Denise Richards and her estranged husband, Aaron Phypers. We had talked about them filing for divorce, and now it quickly turned nasty with allegations of cheating, allegations of abuse. And now, the ex-husband has accused her of cheating, drug use, and physical abuse. And Denise Richards, the lawyers, came out swinging, saying, listen, in addition to the repeated abuse perpetrated by Mr. Phypers against Miss Richards throughout the party's marriage, Mr. Phypers has continued to harass Miss Richards since being served with a temporary restraining order, among other things, disseminating private information from Miss Richards' cell phone and laptop, which he stole. And these actions continue to disturb Miss Richardson's peace. We warn Mr. Phypers in writing not to disseminate any information from Miss Richards' stolen cell phone and laptop, but he continues to do so. And so basically all gloves are off. They're going to court, and neither one of them seem to be backing down at this point. I know that he definitely is very money motivated in this, because he's even said in his court filings that he has not made any money, that he stopped because she was making all of the money between OnlyFans and TV appearances. She was making $250,000 a month. And so he was kind of a stay-at-home husband. And so he needs some financial support post this marriage. So I think that is what he is looking for, some kind of payout. She is not David Geffen, though, so I don't think she's going to be able to afford a $20 million payout like Geffen might.
I think this thing's going to get dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. I saw there was a paparazzi video of him leaving the police precinct the other day. For some reason, I just thought maybe that he called it on himself. So, okay. I think... I
wouldn't be surprised, because no one's following him around. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think,
unless he is actively letting the Paps know that he is going to file something at the police station, they're not following him. They don't care.
Yeah, I agree. So I think there's some weirdness going on there. All right, Dex, number 5.
Cardi B. What is wrong with me today, dude? It's my sickness. I'm sorry. I'm all hopped up on all this medication. Right. But Cardi B, she is being sued for assault and battery. Do you remember? This was a couple years back. She was doing a concert in Vegas. She was doing like a day show at one of the pool parties. I want to think it was Dre's Beach Club. And it was from 2023. She was up on stage. She asked people to like throw water on her. And then she chucked the microphone at one of the like concert goers. That woman is now filing a lawsuit against her for assault and battery. And so, I mean, I remember this video pretty vividly, where she's like, well, throw water. And like, it was all good. And then she just chucked the microphone. And I remember that microphone also got sold at auction for like $100,000, and the money went to charity and everything. But the woman is basically going under a pseudonym, Jane Doe, and her attorney had a press conference on Thursday in Vegas, and saying that, not only between all the press and publicity that was surrounding this, but there's been a lot of exacerbated emotional distress on behalf of the woman who was hit with the microphone. And so she is suing her for assault, battery, negligence, and more. Do not know how much she is looking for, but she clearly wants some kind of payday from Cardi.
Celebs need to do better. I mean, it's... I think this girl has a legit lawsuit. That was a pretty crazy video when you saw it. So
yeah, it really was.
Crappy situation, but now you got to pay the price. So unfortunately, that's what it is. All right, Dex, number 4.
Number
Okay.
4, Billy Joel reassuring his fans it's all good. He is not deathly ill, and gives an update on that very rare, scary brain condition diagnosis that he acknowledged that he has. You know, he announced back in May that he was diagnosed with normal pressure. I'm going to mess this name up. Hydrocephalus or something like that. I don't know how to say the word. It's a treatable brain condition, but just wanted to let everyone know, hey, I'm doing okay. I know you guys are worried, but like I've got something going on and I'm taking care of it, and it's all good. So he wants to be back out on stage as soon as he can, and not to be too afraid for him.
I saw the video of Billy Joel riding his car, and there is a whatchamacallit, the little thing in New York, the pedicab thing with some
Yep.
tourists in the back, and they're playing Billy Joel, and he comes in the car right next to him, and he makes, surprises him. Billy Joel's a legend. I think he's been having some issues for a long time right now. He's getting older, but yeah, tough thing. But I guess he's
How do I say
now
this?
speaking about it.
Hydrocephalus?
Dude,
I don't know. I'm no
I don't.
doctor, guys. I'm stupid.
Yeah. Yes, you
All
are.
right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Number 3.
Scheana Shay, she is coming out with a list of all kinds of people she hooked up with in Hollywood, not holding back on some of the names. This is all in her new memoir called My Good Side. It came out on Tuesday, and she did a lot of kissing and a lot of telling. She announced some of the people she's hooked up with, but some of those people include Jesse Metcalfe, Eddie Cibrian when he was married, John Mayer, Shamar Moore, Josh Hopkins, Shane West, Jesse McCartney, J.C. Chazé, Adrian Grenier, Ricardo Chavera, William Tell, and 2 actors from The Notebook. So, I mean, I can think of 2 very famous actors from The Notebook. I don't know if they're the lead characters or not. A few NFL, NBA, and MLB players, to name a few. She also kind of teased in there, and she is talking all about Vanderpump Rules. She's talking about the people she hooked up with. I've got to imagine there's going to be some people in here that are not happy with what Scheana is doing here. I know she wants to sell books, but she basically had really outed Eddie Cibrian, saying that when he was married to Brandy, they were hooking up. He would have these poker nights, and then they kind of like ran into each other one time, and then every week he would then come over to her house. They would hook up, and this was when he was still married to her. So again, it's probably just like Brandy being like, God damn it, like another time that he was not faithful to me and is being aired out to the world.
I understand she's trying to sell books. I mean, Vanderpump Rules is no longer on air. She's trying to keep keep her name out there and not get a real job and trying to have fun. No, I get it. I'm not mad at that. I don't judge that. What I do think is, if a male was supposed to wrote a book and talked about every single female celebrity he hooked up with, what would the response be? I mean, would we be like, oh yeah, I think, would we be?
We all know that guys get more of a pass, and it's an unfair, situation. But I think it would be different, and I don't know why that is, but that is just the weird cultural norms, unfortunately. But I'm more thinking of just like, what do these guys think when they're like, dude, why are you talking about this? Keep your mouth closed.
Right. So Jesse Metcalfe addressed it, and he said, luckily that Scheana spoke very highly about him. He was like, yeah, but this was so long ago. This is 20 years ago. And he said nice things about her. He's like, yeah, it was a different time, and it was, and who know how far it got. But again, she's also trying to sell books. I mean, if I go that route too, I'll probably have to think of the same thing and do this. I get it. I just hope if a guy starts to talk about all the girls, don't start to come at him as, as thirsty player. Like, all right, it's got to be even on both sides about this.
I did find it was very interesting. She talked about how for 2 seasons of Vanderpump Rules, they demoted her. She was basically a friend of the cast, but still showing up just as much on camera. But it was a way for Bravo to save money. They gave her this like title or demotion, and she still had to like go through 2 seasons. I think it was like season 8 and 10 or something, and they paid her they took away half of her pay, made her be basically a full-time character, but because it was kind of a sneaky move on their part, she didn't make as much money.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know if when you talk about Bravo like that, do you still get to go back there and work? Or are they like, no, like don't start this beef with us?
I'm gonna assume it hurts, but she probably doesn't care at this point, right?
What do you?
It's not like she's coming back on the show, and if Bravo's smart, they go, well, she knows how to stir the pot. That's who you want on a show, even though that she's going to talk shit on the network. She knows how to bring drama. She knows how to bring in ratings. That's, at the end of the day, that all they want.
That is true, but you better hope some brands are still posting or do some social media stuff because, again, I don't know. I'm still trying to learn the book industry, how much money you can make on the book, how much money will she take home from this book, was it worth it? Was it worth it at the end? I don't know.
What was crazy? Weren't you with Scheana Shay that night that all the news broke?
I was.
Weren't you like hanging out with her?
I was. Man, I forgot what happened. I was not that night. I was with them during the day, and then that night they sort of like, "Hey, we're doing Watch What Happens," and I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." And then that night is when she found out, and it became a whole fight. And then I got a message the next day saying, "Hey," because I got him like a paid gig, and they had to be paid. She was like, "Hey, I don't want to be. We got into a fight last night. I want to be paid separate." And it was okay. Like I didn't get into detail, but then it kind of all came together, and it was sort of like weird.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. I'm trying to figure that. Hey, I gotta run actually because I gotta go meet up with a pretty big name right now. I gotta record, but
all right, we only got 2 stories left. I got this. You bounce.
All right, sounds good. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne and Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Good guys, good experiences. Nice, actually, very nice guys. Ozzy and Malcolm, both very nice guys. I'm out. I'll see you.
Okay, bye. All right, getting into number 2. Obviously, one of the big names that passed away this week was Ozzy Osbourne, legendary musician. I obviously became very familiar with him through the Osbourne show back in the day, just because that was kind of my time. I didn't really listen to Black Sabbath, but that the Osbournes really put him on the map for me. At least MTV put him on the map for me. He was 76 at the time, which was crazy because it was just like 2 weeks ago that they had this big reunion for Black Sabbath and this big tribute to him, and all these huge bands came together. And I was watching Kelly Osbourne's Instagram feed of all these like cool things that were happening just 2 weeks ago, and now we're sitting here talking about his death. Well, his family did report they're the ones that broke the news. They said it is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away, and that he was with friends and family surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family and privacy at this time. There was no real details surrounding what was the cause of death. I did read, I think it was on page 6, that paramedics, there was a helicopter that flew to the house. It was over in England, and they performed CPR, or at least tried to save him, for about 2 hours before pronouncing him dead. So really sad, but what a storied career, like so many successes between not only Black Sabbath, but then his solo career that really took off. Then the Osbournes. I mean, he had such a fascinating life. Obviously, the biting the bat head off put him into that weird category of people just fascinated with him. I did find it interesting. I was reading about his life throughout this whole thing, and how when they put the band together, Black Sabbath, what they basically said was, look, horror movies sell. People go to watch horror movies. So why wouldn't they go to watch a horror like concert? And that is really like, what a smart way to think about entertainment. And that is what was kind of the backbone of their music, is this creepy, scary music, or at least their stage performance was creepy, scary, and people went on to really watch a performance there. Anyway, he was always, some people called him the godfather of heavy metal. I think like the Prince of Darkness is what he called to himself. So he will be missed. I know we've had Kelly on here, that family, a lot of love in that family. And even though they were on reality shows and all of this, there was a lot of love. And I got to imagine that his funeral, there's going to be a lot of people going to it. It's going to be pretty emotional. So sad to have to say goodbye to Ozzy Osbourne. What a legend. And then also, I guess we're kind of doing 1 and 2 together here. But the other big death this week was Malcolm-Jamal Warner, who was from The Cosby Show, had a surprising death at the age of 54. He drowned in Costa Rica this week. He was Theodore Huxtable on the show. Everyone knows him. He became a massive star thanks to his time on The Cosby Show. But he was swimming at Playa Grande near a town in Chihuahua, I think is how you say it. And I guess it was around 2:30 p.m. local time when a current pulled him pretty deep into the ocean. And he was out there swimming with his daughter at the time. And they tried to get him out and was declared dead by the Red Cross. And there was actually another man who was in critical condition after being pulled out of a current as well. I did see there was a bunch of posts about how this beach area had tons of signs basically saying that there are rip currents year round. It is this is not safe water to get in. So I don't know if he just missed the signs or what, but I guess it's very known for rip currents in this section of the beach in Costa Rica. And unfortunately, it took his life. Rip currents are no joke, especially because you can't really fight against them. If you ever get stuck in a rip current, swim sideways, swim parallel with the beach until you're out of that rip current, because you cannot get out of it. And all you're going to do is waste all your energy and until the point where you're exhausted and can no longer swim. But sad stories. Very famous guy and had to say goodbye. And he's got his 8-year-old daughter did survive, and it's sad. All right, so just when I thought I was done filming the Raw Rundown, some more news. Another big death has happened. It's Thursday morning. Breaking news there right now. Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71. This news just broke on TMZ. Basically, he was 71 years old. It sounds like medics were dispatched out to his home in Clearwater, Florida this morning. Early on Thursday morning, operators stating that there was a call for cardiac arrest. It says, TMZ says that there's a slew of police cars, EMTs, all these cars parked outside of Hulk Hogan's home. And he was carried into an ambulance on a stretcher a few weeks ago. I guess his wife had told TMZ that the rumors of him being in a coma and being on his deathbed were not true. He was strong and recovering from some of the surgeries that he had gone through. I remember that they had posted a story about him being on his deathbed, but they were told at the time that he was just dealing with symptoms from a neck procedure that he underwent in May. And, Hulk Hogan obviously transformed wrestling. He was probably one of the biggest names in wrestling over the years, from a hero to a villain to, a MTV reality star. And so this was a pretty shocking news this morning. He's had a lot of ups and downs in his life, but I know that the world of entertainment is going to be mourning him over the next little bit. Definitely huge megastar, and adding him onto the list of massive deaths that have happened this week with Ozzy Osbourne, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. It's been a rough week in entertainment news. All right, well, those are our top 10 stories of the week. You can follow us on social media. Make sure you come join our private Facebook group called Off the Record, where we chat and post and connect with you guys personally, and follow us on social media. You can watch the video version of this podcast on YouTube. Just follow Hollywood Raw. And all these links you can follow at hollywoodraw.com. We link you out to everything that you might be interested in. But we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook. We're kind of everywhere. Almost too many places. Thank you guys again. Appreciate that review left by Car FN earlier. Just appreciate your guys' time listening to us. All right, have a good one. Later.
Guys, hope you like that video. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that. And we really need the money because we need hair gel.